I want to make this video very concise. I'm going to set it up into two parts. I'll have links in the description if you want to fast forward to the second part. The first part is going to be like in-game mechanical improvements slash key bindings. And another part I'm going to set up, which is going to be like out-of-game stuff, like graphic settings, colors, etc. A useful tip is to bind your jump key and your vault key onto two separate keys instead of the jump slash vault key, which is default. This will prevent you from accidentally vaulting over a railing when you went to jump on top of it, etc. Bind your marker to your middle mouse button, and this will mark whatever you're looking at if it's within 300 meters, but just by pressing one button. I personally do it on my middle mouse button. This makes it super easy for your teammates to see who you're shooting at, like without having to comment very fast. A very similar trick is to bind your compass marker to your shoot button, which is usually left click, and that will place a little ping on top of the compass wheel for your teammates in the direction you're shooting. You can hold Alt and right click to recreate the plane path so you'll never forget where the plane was, and you can try and figure out where people are going to be in the later game circles. I recommend making all of your sensitivities, like your general, red dot, and scoping sensitivities, all the exact same. This will definitely improve your muscle memory. Okay, this one's a little bit more complicated, so I'll be showing some example clips. But essentially for this one, I use my lean keys on hold, and I put my left lean on my E and my right lean on my Q key. I essentially inverted these. Imagine you're leaning around a tree. You're going to lean to the right, and you're going to strafe to the right. This means you're pressing E and D. Pressing E and D at the same exact time are very difficult. So I inverted them so every time I'm leaning to the right, I'm pressing Q, and then I need to move to the right with my D key. So I'm holding down Q and D with two different fingers. This is much more manageable than if normally you're pressing E and D and Q and A. Head over to gameplay and enable these three settings that are brand new in this patch. One of them automatically equips attachments when you press F to pick it up off the ground. One of them automatically replaces the attachments if you're swapping from one gun to the next. And the other one automatically puts attachments on your gun once they're in your inventory. A very common strategy is to change your colorblind settings. This essentially changes their reticle colors to make them much more visible, like when you're looking at the sky. And it also changes your blood colors, which make them much more visible. Majority of players use Protanopia, but here's an example of all of them. You can pick which one you like. You might hear a lot of pro players talking about using 1728 or a stretched resolution. In order to do that, you go to your desktop, right-click, go to your NVIDIA control panel. You want to go over to Change Resolution, Create Custom Resolution, and then you type in 1728 x 1080. A new setting in your NVIDIA control panel in the Manage 3D Settings tab is called Low Latency Mode. This is a brand new setting in the last couple months released by NVIDIA. It's supposed to decrease your latency by up to 33%, so I recommend turning that on. And the last tip I'm going to be showing you is something super common. Most people already know about it, but in case you don't, you can go to your color settings in your NVIDIA control panel, and most people turn up their digital vibrance. I currently run about 85%, but just pick any number above 50 that you find comfortable.